I was talking to my neighbor Margaret last week, and she told me something that stopped me in my tracks. She'd been feeling dizzy for days, could barely get out of bed, and finally ended up in the emergency room. Turns out, she'd accidentally doubled up on her blood pressure medication. Again. And here's the thing. Margaret's sharp as a tack. She's the one who remembers everyone's birthday and still beats me at Scrabble every Friday. But when it comes to her medications, she said it feels like her brain just fogs over. Sound familiar? If you've ever mixed up a dose, forgotten whether you took your pills, or stared at a bottle wondering, what's this one even for? You're not alone. In fact, studies show that nearly half of all seniors take their medications incorrectly. And those mistakes, they land over 200,000 of us in the ER every year. But here's the good news. Most of these emergencies, they're preventable. Today we're going to talk about 3 simple fixes you can start using today to stay safe, avoid overdoses, and keep those little pills working for you, not against you. Let's start with the biggest culprit I see time and time again. Fix number 1. Get rid of the guesswork. Organize your medications like a pro. Raise your hand if you've ever relied on the shape and color method to identify your pills. Oh, I've done it too. But here's the problem. When you're taking 5, 6, 7 different medications, that system crumbles fast. And let's not even talk about those tiny pharmacy labels that require a magnifying glass. This right here. This is your new best friend. Sit down with your pharmacist, or a trusted family member, and make a master list of every single medication you take. I'm talking name, purpose, dose, and time of day. Use big letters, bold colors, whatever helps you read it at a glance. Keep one copy on the fridge, another in your wallet, and give one to your emergency contact. Now, let's talk about this lifesaver. Yes, they've been around forever, but so many folks tell me, "Oh, I don't need that. I can remember." But here's the truth. Memory isn't a muscle we can flex forever. Why risk it? Spend 10 minutes every Sunday filling this up, or ask a grandkid to help. And suddenly, you're not playing roulette with your health every morning. And while we're at it, let's do some spring cleaning. These expired antibiotics from 2015, the half-empty painkillers from your knee surgery, they've got to go. Mixing old meds with new ones? That's how accidents happen. Your local pharmacy can dispose of them safely. No fuss. Now, I know this might feel overwhelming at first. But think of it like taming a wild garden, one step at a time. Start with the list. Then tackle the organizer. Before you know it, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. And here's what I really want you to remember. This isn't about admitting weakness. It's about claiming your power. Taking control of your health so you can keep doing the things you love, whether that's gardening, traveling, or finally writing that memoir. Because here's the thing, when medications are working with you, they're miracles of modern science. But when they're working against you, they can turn a small mistake into a life-changing crisis. And you deserve better than that. Sometimes I think the most dangerous words in the English language are, "It's just aspirin." We've all said it, haven't we? Pop a pill for a headache, grab a supplement for joint pain. No big deal, right? Well, let me tell you about my friend Carl. Carl's a retired engineer, sharp as they come, but last winter, he ended up in the hospital with internal bleeding. Turns out, the harmless ibuprofen he'd been taking for his arthritis clashed with his blood thinner. And guess what? He never even mentioned it to his doctor. Which brings me to fix number 2. Talk to your doctor, really talk to them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Of course I talk to my doctor. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you brought every pill, supplement, and vitamin you take to an appointment? The gummy vitamins? The herbal tea your sister swears by? The antacids you keep in your glove compartment? If you're hesitating, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Anything you swallow can become part of your body's chemistry. And chemistry, it doesn't care if the bottle came from a pharmacy or a health food store. So here's your homework. And yes, there's homework, but I promise it's easy. Once a year, grab a literal bag of everything you take. I'm talking prescriptions, eye drops, fiber gummies, everything. March into your doctor's office or pharmacy and say, "Let's do a medication checkup." Doctors love this, by the way. It makes their job easier. They'll look for duplicates, outdated prescriptions, and those sneaky interactions you'd never spot. And while you're there, ask the 3 magic questions. 1. Is this still the right dose for me? Your kidneys and liver change as you age. What worked at 60 might not at 75. 2. What side effects should I watch for? If a pill makes you dizzy, you need to know before you climb a ladder to clean the gutters. 3. Can we simplify this? Combination pills, once-a-day doses, they're game changers. Now, I need to address the elephant in the room. So many of us downplay our symptoms or brush off questions because we don't want to be a burden. But let me tell you something. You are not a burden. You're a partner in your own care. And if your doctor rushes you or dismisses your concerns, that's not a you problem, that's a them problem. Find someone who'll listen. Fix number 3. Know why you're taking every pill, and what happens if you stop. My Aunt Edna used to say, "If I don't know what it's for, I don't want it in my body." Wise woman, Edna. But here's the catch. Too many of us take medications for years without understanding why. Maybe your doctor said, "This'll help your heart," and that was that. But here's why that's dangerous. If you don't know how a medication helps you, you're more likely to skip doses, just to take a break, or worse, stop cold turkey. Let's say you're on a statin for high cholesterol. If you don't really understand that it's preventing plaque from silently clogging your arteries, you might think, "I feel fine, why bother?" But stopping it. That's like tossing away the life preserver because the water looks calm. So here's your action plan. Next time you pick up a prescription, ask your pharmacist, "Can you explain this like I'm hearing about it for the first time?" Write down their explanation in your own words. Tape it to the bottle. And if you're tech-savvy, use your phone to set reminders like, "Take lisinopril, keeps your blood pressure in check." Knowledge isn't just power, it's motivation. And if cost ever gets in the way, speak up. There are programs, generics, even coupons that'll make your meds affordable. Don't let pride or shame keep you silent. Your health is worth every conversation. Now, I know these fixes sound simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. It takes courage to admit we need systems. Humility to ask for help. But here's what I've learned after decades on this earth. The strongest people aren't those who never stumble. They're the ones who set up guardrails before the stumble turns into a fall. And you've already taken the hardest step, showing up here, willing to learn. That's not just strength. That's wisdom. You know, when I first started this journey, getting my medications sorted, having those tough talks with my doctor, I'll admit, I felt a little defeated. Like I was giving in to age. But then something funny happened. My granddaughter said to me, "Grandpa, you're like a superhero with that pill organizer." And it hit me. This isn't about surrender. It's about armor. Armor that lets us keep dancing at weddings, babysitting the grandkids, or finally taking that cross-country trip we've always dreamed of. Let's take a moment to walk through what we've covered together. First, we talked about taming the chaos, making that master list, using a pill organizer, clearing out the old medicines gathering dust. Then we tackled the power of real conversations, marching into your doctor's office with that bag of everything you take, asking those 3 golden questions. And finally, we dug into the why behind every pill, because knowing the why turns a chore into a choice. A choice to stay vibrant, to stay here. Think of these 3 fixes as your safety net. Not a trap, but something that frees you. Imagine Margaret, my neighbor, after her ER scare, she got herself a bright purple pill organizer. She calls it her wisdom box. Now, she's back to growing prize-winning roses and hosting our Friday Scrabble nights. No more fog. Just clarity, And a few extra wins against me, I might add. Now, I won't pretend this is always easy. Change can feel like climbing a mountain, especially when pride whispers, "I've managed this long without help." But let me ask you, what's riskier? Asking your grandson to help sort your pills for 10 minutes, or ending up in the hospital because you missed a dose? We've earned the right to be stubborn about some things. Our morning coffee ritual, our favorite chair. But our health. That's where we trade stubbornness for strategy. Take my friends, Ben and Ruth. After Ben's heart scare, they sat down together and made a pact. No more secrets, no more guesswork. They did the list, the organizer, the whole shebang. Last month, they sent me this photo from the top of a trail in Sedona. 80 years old, and they're still chasing sunsets. That's the power of these fixes. It's not just avoiding emergencies, it's claiming the life waiting for you on the other side of what if. So here's my challenge to you. This week, pick one thing. Just one. Call your pharmacist and ask, "Can we review my medications?" Or dig out that old shoebox of pills and start fresh. Or text your daughter and say, "Hey, can you help me set up a reminder on my phone?" Small steps, friends. They're the secret to outsmarting time. And when you do this, when you take control, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your wisdom box moment? Did you find an old pill that made you gasp? Did your doctor surprise you with a simpler solution? Your story could be the nudge someone else needs to take that first step. If this video resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe. We're building a community of folks who believe aging isn't about slowing down. It's about stepping up. With clarity, with confidence, with a little help from each other. So here's to you, to your health, your adventures, and all the moments still ahead. Keep shining. Keep thriving. And remember, every pill organized, every question asked, every why answered, that's not just medicine. That's legacy.